Hello, my name is James Moore and this is the Tech Tuesday for April 2019. We're focusing on Zoom and Panopto. So there's been interesting discussion on the classroom of the future, essentially a multimedia environment in which students and faculty interact both physically and virtually. And DePaul is currently investigating the design of such classrooms. So here's one conceptual design that builds upon a model that has worked well for our synchronous online classes. The classroom has two cameras, facing students and facing the presenter. Two screens at the front show remote and local content. Two screens at the rear of the room again mirror the content for the presenter as they teach. The presenter's desk also has two screens, and the room is equipped with ceiling-mounted microphones. All this is good, but faculty want to be able to record in the classroom and bring in remote participants virtually to their classes. They need this now, and the solution needs to be mobile. So let's break this down into hardware and software. With the portable hardware options, we're going to look at what might fit in a blazer pocket and then what you could fit in a satchel. So the recommended webcam is a Logitech C922. It's reliable, it's sturdy, and you shouldn't pay any more than about $70 for this. So how good is the audio? This is not a terribly exciting video, but I walked around a typical DePaul classroom speaking normally. I can be heard from all parts of the classroom. The microphone on the webcam is good enough to video conference or record a class. This is an audio test. I'm standing near the door to the room. This is an audio test. I am standing in front of the student desks. This is an audio test. I'm at the back of the room, walking around the back. So do you need a tripod? And if so, which type? You could get away without a tripod. The webcam has a flat base, which also articulates as a clamp to fit on a monitor. However, a desktop tripod is recommended. Manfrotto has a tiny one that folds to the size of a pen. But more practical are the Pedco UltraPod 2 or the Joby GorillaPod. My recommendation is the UltraPod, as this has better stability. The GorillaPod contorts to wrap around pretty much any fixed object you would find in the classroom. And here's an example of this in a typical classroom. If you don't have room on the desk or want something closer to a traditional tripod, but still allowing you to move the camera away from the desk, then this selfie stick might work for you. It has a tripod stand that creates stability. I've put together a more overdeveloped package that fits in a bag. And this bag is ready to be borrowed by College of Business faculty. It contains these 7 items. So principally here we have a webcam and microphone. So although the Logitech webcam works pretty well, the Blue Snowball USB microphone provides slightly better audio and captures sound in 360 degrees. A dual bracket allows 2 devices to be mounted on one tripod. The USB cables for the webcam and microphone are relatively short, so extension cables allow for better placement in the classroom. And to prevent accidents, a cord protector can be placed over cables running along the floor. If the kit's unavailable, there is an alternative. Information Services has a webcam and tripod that you can request. So that was the hardware. With the classroom upgrades to Windows 10, every Podium PC in the classroom now has Zoom and Panopto installed. Zoom isn't the only option for video conferencing. There's also Skype and Google Hangouts. Skype has 2 versions. We have Skype for Business, which integrates with DePaul's Outlook system, and then regular Skype. You won't find Skype for Business on the DePaul Podium PC image, so you'd have to run this from a laptop. Skype for Business's future is uncertain and might be rebranded or absorbed into another product with the development of Microsoft Teams. Regular Skype is not installed on classroom Podium PCs, so you'd have to run this from either a USB drive or from a laptop. So Zoom is clearly a more convenient option here. We have a significant number of DePaul faculty who heavily use Google applications, And Google G Suite is now available to all current DePaul faculty and staff. So it integrates with your campus connection credentials, and this makes Hangouts an option for some. However, the tool is not as usable or resilient as Zoom. So this leads us back to Zoom as the recommended video conferencing solution for the classroom. Zoom's professional version is available to all current DePaul faculty and staff. Students and remote presenters don't require credentials to connect to a Zoom session. They just click on a link that you share. And these Zoom sessions can record to the cloud. And as I mentioned earlier, Zoom is installed on all Classroom Podium PCs. I think it's insanely easy to use, and it can interoperate with existing Polycom systems. The company was founded in 2011, went public in April of 2019, and is valued at $16 billion. It supports up to 500 concurrent video participants, way more than you would have in a typical class. Now, certain DePaul video conference rooms are being updated to what are called Zoom rooms. This is a version of Zoom that replaces traditional video conference rooms and requires specific hardware. And when scheduling Zoom, you can create meetings via Outlook, D2L, or a web browser. So out of these three, I have a preference. The recommended process to do this is via Outlook with the Zoom plugin. This ensures that your meetings show up in your DePaul calendar. You can easily invite participants then via email. However, the web client allows you to schedule the same way, but you don't have integration with your calendar or email. And then lastly, you can schedule from inside your D2L course. So again, Outlook is the preferred way to schedule a meeting. When scheduling a Zoom meeting, here are what I think are the recommended settings. Host video off, which gives you privacy before the meeting starts. Participant video on, which means your students' webcams are automatically turned on. Mute participants upon entry, which means there is no audio feedback from people who don't have an appropriate hardware setup. Audio set as both, which means people can connect via their computers or from regular telephones. Enable join before host, and this means that your students don't need to wait for you to arrive before they can connect to the meeting. And then record meeting automatically in the cloud. This I would do for all classes, but you want to make sure that you tell your participants, your students, that you are recording. After scheduling a meeting, you can copy and paste your invitation to your meeting attendees. So these will typically be students or remote presenters. And this meeting invitation has 4 parts. We have the URL or web address. This is a clickable link that initiates the video conference. This is what the majority of your students will use. Then there's a regular telephone number with the option to use local overseas telephone numbers that a student can use if their computer doesn't have a microphone or speakers, or perhaps if they're without a computer or smartphone. The meeting ID then allows them to connect to your meeting. Then we have the H323 SIP. This is the information that someone using a traditional video conference room system, such as a Polycom, would use to connect. And then lastly, we have your meeting ID. So this is the unique identifier for the session that you're running. As you can see, Zoom works pretty much with any communication device out there. If you do need to connect to a room system, you can either call out to an IP address, or the room system connect to the Zoom IP address, and you use your meeting ID to authenticate. The Zoom interface is pretty straightforward. Main presenter's content takes precedence, and remote attendees are seen in smaller video windows at the top. You can mute audio, you can stop video, or you can share your screen. The experience of sharing your screen in the classroom environment looks like this, with a floating window for Zoom controls at the top, and then a video preview at the side. Now you can hide the video preview if this is distracting by minimizing it. There are 2 notable extras that Zoom has. It has the ability to poll remote participants, It also has the ability to assign them to breakout rooms. So this is stuff that you might not be using if recording the classroom experience, but it's useful if you are connecting to entirely virtual students. If you are using Zoom from your desktop, you can apply a soft focus filter to your webcam image to look a little nicer, prettier, and younger on screen. But for classroom use, this is the way you would connect. So you log into the classroom PC with your campus connection username and password. You click on the Windows icon, you click on Zoom, you click on Sign In, you then choose Sign In with SSO, you type in DePaul as the company domain to complete depaul.zoom.us, you then again enter your campus connection username and password, and if asked to switch apps and open Zoom meetings, click Yes, and then you would choose Join Audio by Computer. If you're intending to teach and sort of share or record your environment, I would suggest then that you share screen and check the two options that says Share Computer Sound and Optimize for full screen video clips. So if you've recorded to the cloud, you'll receive an email from Zoom with links to download the recorded video, as well as optional audio-only files and a web video text tracks file that contains a transcription of the recording. So the transcription is fairly accurate, and it's created by Otter AI. In terms of how the recording looks, this is how things look. You'll see your desktop that you shared, and then content captured via the webcam over on the right. The VTT file can be useful if you want a textual record of the class, but you could also use it if you're conducting interviews or research. Chances are you may want to edit your video recording before sharing with students. Basic editing can be done with either Panopto or the free tool MPEG Streamclip. So to edit with Panopto, you upload your video via the Insert Stuff button to D2L, and then once uploaded, the Panopto video editor allows you to truncate your recording. You can then use the Insert Stuff button to publish your video in D2L. If you're using MPEG Streamclip, you mark the in and out points of your recording. You press Trim, save your video, and then you can upload to D2L via the Insert Stuff button again. Then publish your video. So this brings us back to Panopto. Not a video conference tool, but a recording and editing tool. And Panopto is found on all Classroom Podium PCs and can be used to record your classes. So here's what you do. You log into your Classroom PC with your campus connection username and password. You click on the Windows icon, you click on Panopto, and then you choose your primary source as your webcam, your audio as your webcam, sets quality as ultra, capture PowerPoint, and capture main screen. So here we can see those settings I just outlined on the left-hand side, and then you click on the big red record button to record your class. At the end of your class, you stop the recording, and then you upload to D2L, and then later, so this could be back at your desk or at home, you add your recording to your D2L class via the Insert Stuff button, but in this case we're choosing from a video that resides in your folder. Anyway, that was a brief overview of the hardware and software that you can use to record in the classroom. I hope the information is useful to you.